Hello, great people. President Bola Tinubu paid a walking visit to Enugu State. Now, his visit to Enugu State points out something. It brings something to mind that I would like to talk on in this video, which is the behavioral pattern of the Igbo race when it comes to addressing issues, that when they are to relate with other ethnic groups to get what they want, how do the Igbos relate with other ethnic groups? And to put it in context, there has been clamor for the release of Nnamdi Kanu over the years. You will recall that the Buhari presidency extradited Nnamdi Kanu in an extraordinary manner from Kenya. And since then, Nnamdi Kanu has been in detention and his case has dragged back and forth in the law court. And there seems to be no end in sight, because now his case is not even before any judge, because the judge handling the case, Justice Inyako, has recused herself from the case. But there is an opportunity that presents itself. But then, as the Igbos use that particular opportunity, I'll be discussing that. Then I will be discussing what the Igbos need to learn from the North. And I'll be citing some empirical artifacts for you to know that, okay, is it true that the Igbos truly have something to learn from the North? Now, let's dive into it. The president was in Enugu State. You would have thought that the president's presence in the territory of the Igbo people is an opportunity for them to bombard the president with their major desire, which could have been the release of their brother. Because if you look at it in Nigeria, you may say Nnamdi Kanu has committed an offense. But if you compare the offense of Nnamdi Kanu, if you think he has committed an offense, to those that have been committed, particularly from some of these people with extreme views in the North, you will see it will be difficult for you to say that Nnamdi Kanu has committed an offense when you compare it with some of the things that have been done in the North. And some of the people that have perpetrated this evil have been granted pardon, they have been granted amnesty. So you want to ask yourself, does Nnamdi Kanu not deserve it? If Sunday Igbo, that were called for Yoruba nation, now is walking free, you want to ask yourself, does Nnamdi Kanu not deserve the same thing as well? Now, the people in the Igbo land, they said that releasing Nnamdi Kanu to boost the security in the region, that people are using the name of Nnamdi Kanu to perpetrate crime. And this is one selling point that the people could have used, that Mr. President, security is the utmost responsibility of government, and we have identified by our local intelligence that some people are using this guy's name to perpetrate crime. So if you can release him, at least show love, show concern that you really want us to be secured, and release this man, Nnamdi Kanu, for us. But that has not been the case. It's just been, this one will say this one will say that, this one is fighting for one thing, that one is fighting for another thing. Now let us go to the North. Compare the visit of President Bola Tinubu and the advocacy for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Compare it to the tax reform bill, the unity that have come from the North. Everybody in the North have been loyal. They have been speaking with one voice that this tax reform, we don't want it, despite the fact that they know that that tax reform is the right thing. No, Tinubu is trying to do the right thing, because you cannot continue to exploit and extort other regions in the country. But that unity, that speaking with one voice, is something that is significantly missing amongst Igbo people. Because if you look at it, this tax reform, they have been speaking with one voice, despite the fact that they know that if the status quo remains the same, they would have been changing other regions. But that unity, despite the fact that they know that they've been cheating other people for years, is something that the Igbo people need to learn from the North. Like the kings, the elders, the politicians, the professors, the technocrats, the masses, all of them have been speaking with one voice. And their demand is, step down this bill. We don't want it. So why is it difficult for Igbo people to speak with one voice? Another instance is that of Sharia. During the time of Obasanjo, when Sharia was to be introduced in the North, look at the way they twist Obasanjo. They all spoke with one voice. Even in the North, the moderate Muslim, the extremists, all of them, Instead of you to speak against it, you rather keep quiet. Because when you speak against it, the people will come for you. The northern, supporters of that particular policy will come for you. And of course, you won't want them to come for you. So you will rather keep quiet. So during Sharia, they all spoke with one voice. They all lobbied Obasanjo. They all cajoled him, threatened him to the extent that, despite the fact that Obasanjo is a Christian and is naturally against Sharia, he had no choice than to let them have their way. So why is the Igbo not learning this, speaking in unity from the north, whether rightly or wrongly? You see that the north, once they target something, they will stay on it, they will hammer on it till they get their desired result. Another thing is the 2015 election, Buhari versus Jonathan. When the north made Buhari like a northern project, they all supported him. Even northerners in Jonathan's cabinet sabotaged the election of the man. Even some of the people that he appointed to some of the highest offices in the land. I won't want to mention these offices, but if you are conversant with the political circle, you would understand. In the sense that they even sabotage him. The people that are supposed to be most loyal to him across different government agencies, I don't want to mention anyone, but you see that they sabotage it and make sure that they delivered the election to Buhari. You can see, speaking with one voice, acting in unity to get desired results. The Igbos needs to learn this particular thing from the north, because what more opportunity can you have than the presence of the president in your region? That's one of the best opportunities. You would have articulated your point in such a way that if Tinubu is looking like this, you'll be hearing releasing Nnamdi Kanu, because Sunday Igbo has been released. If he looks this way, they'll say releasing Nnamdi Kanu because bandits in the north, terrorists in the north were being granted amnesty, releasing. If he looks the other way, another person will come up with another argument that releasing Nnamdi Kanu because his release is tied to the security of the Southeast, that people are already using his name to perpetrate evil. So when you release him, they won't be able to use his name and incarceration again. If Tinubu looks like this again, they will tell him releasing Nnamdi Kanu because the Niger Delta militants that took up arms against the corporate existence of Nigeria, they were granted amnesty, even though they were fighting for their rights. Because I've done scientific research in the Niger Delta, it is an legitimate struggle. But that's another analysis for another day. So if you look at it, the Igbo people need to learn how to speak in unity. Same also for this Igbo presidency. Some people will say Igbo presidency. Some people will say, no, let's give Buhari a chance. It's the time of the north. Some people will say Igbo presidency. When Buhari is living there, they will say, no, let's just go and support Tinubu. Imagine that, speaking with unity, acting in unity to achieve a common goal is something that, again, the Igbo needs to learn from the north. Another instance is that of the 2023 presidential election. You see, during the 2023 presidential election, Peter Obi was contesting. He was a candidate of the Labour Party. But despite the fact that he's contesting, you have some Igbo people that strongly backed Bola Tinubu, that gave him the desired support and every resources possible that he needs to win. So you want to ask yourself that, as the North championed the Buhari presidency, why didn't the Igbo support their own when for the 2023 election they had a strong candidate in Peter Obi? Again, the Igbo needs to learn how to act in unity, how to speak with one voice to achieve desired results. Because in a multi-ethnic society like Nigeria, if you're expecting that things will come for you, things will come to you free, or you expect that other ethnic groups will be rational thinkers, no, everybody, they hustle for themselves. That's how it is. It's an hustling game in a multi-ethnic society like Nigeria. If you are not strong, if you are not vocal, if you think the other ethnic group will just wake up one day and do the right thing, that right thing may never happen. And that's why the Igbo needs to learn how to speak with one voice. So I've given you 5 instances, which is the 2023 election, the 2015 presidential election, the Sharia law, then the tax reform bill, and if I can even add to it, the Biafra war. That makes it 5. When the Biafra war was to be prosecuted, the North agreed that we don't want the Igbos to go. And Gowon being the head of state at that time, they fought that war to the last. They were united. Millions of people died in the Southeast. Property were destroyed. They used the money of Nigeria, the oil money from the Niger Delta, and the human resources of the Yoruba people. They align it with, their own strength in the military and police to prosecute that war. And at the end of the day, the Hausa Fulanis, they spoke with one voice. Even if I can even add more to it for you, because I don't run out of examples, on matters like this. When Abiola contested the June 1993 election that was annulled, the North were united. Babangida annulled it, and they gave him the backing. They didn't even, move against him too much. And at the end of the day, Babangida had his way. And when they were to use the Obasanjo presidency to compensate the Yoruba people, they also spoke with one voice. Again, the Igbo needs to learn how to speak in unity, how to act in unity to achieve desired results. Because in a democracy, if you think that other ethnic groups will be rational to do the right thing, or you don't know how to fight, you don't know how to hustle, you don't know how to struggle, or you guys are speaking with multiple mouths. This one is saying A, that one is saying W, this one is saying Z, this one is saying P, that one is saying M. The Igbos will continue to be marginalized, and they won't get the desired result. Sometimes it takes a bit of grace. So let me just put it like that. You must get some grace, and you must be united. Your voice must be loud. You must be vocal to get the desired result in a plural society like Nigeria as it is currently constituted. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politing with Dr. Omoshola Deji. Dr. Deji is a political scientist with a PhD in political science. Make sure you subscribe to my channel on YouTube, follow me on Facebook, and also on TikTok. Till I see you again, always remember that I love you all sincerely.